read 11 books this month, and by this month I mean December. So let's talk about it. In November I guess in the beginning of December when I was doing, no, maybe it was November, when I was doing either my December TBR or my November wrap up, I had made the comment that December is like very busy for me and therefore I do not expect to read a lot of books. I feel like I did really well this month. So maybe it wasn't as busy as I thought it was, or maybe these books were just really good and I just finished them quickly. I don't know. Either way, I read 11 books. So I want to talk about all of them because I feel like I got a lot of amazing reads this month. I think all except maybe 2 were like 4 and above, unless I'm remembering things incorrectly. So let's just get into it, I guess, right? Yeah. I want to start off with these books because these are like the first books that I read this month, and that would be the first 2 books in the Eden series. This is Juniper Hill and Indigo Ridge, and I just want to say that this series so far is absolutely incredible. I desperately want to get my hands on the rest of the Eden series. Like, it was so fun reading them, and like I cried in both of these books. This one was like, I think I rated this one. Did I give this one 5 stars? I feel like I gave this one 5 stars and possibly this one as well. But now that I think about it, this one might be like a 4.75. Both of them were just so good. And the Eden series is about the Edens. I apologize, you can probably hear Micah teetering in the back. But this series is about the Edens, and they are a very large family. They kind of own this town in Montana. Like, they're like one of the founding families in Montana. The first book is Indigo Ridge, and there is this girl who moves to Quincy, where the Edens live. She moves to Quincy as the new police chief, and nobody knows her because her grandfather is the mayor, but she didn't grow up in Quincy, so people feel like she's an outsider and undeserving of the job. So she runs into Griffin, doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know who she is. They think that the other person is a tourist. They have a one-night stand. And then they find out that that person was not a tourist. And it's just like, I don't know, it's very sweet. And Griffin is not a man of many words, but he is a man of many actions. And the things that he does, it's just so amazing. I really loved the acts of services in this book. The thing with Winslow is that her last relationship, she was like engaged to this guy for a very long time. And the thing is that he was a man of many words and of very few actions to back those words. And so Griffin was great because he was a man of very few words, but many actions. So like, he may not say the right thing, but he was doing things to make sure that she was constantly taken care of. And it's the same with this one. This, I think, is the next brother. Like, it's like, so Griffin's the oldest, and then I think Knox is the second oldest, I'm pretty sure. And then the girl in this is Memphis, and Knox is a chef. And need I say more? We love a man who can cook. So Memphis moves into Knox's above garage apartment that he has. And she starts working as a hotel cleaner, like maid, like a hotel maid type of person. She does the cleaning service. I can't remember what it's called. I'm so sorry. But the turn down service, that's what she does. She like cleans the rooms when people leave and all that stuff. I loved these books. I really want to continue the series. I just like the Edens. I really like the Edens. So I also read Love Light Farms, and this was so adorable. I'm so glad that I read this because this is something that I really wanted to read before Christmas time. This is fake dating these 2 friends. Like, they're 2 very good friends, and they have to start dating because she lied on a giveaway type of thing, and she gets disqualified anyways. But it was really cute, and I really liked it. And there's more in this universe by B.K. Borison, so I plan on reading the rest of her books, but this was super cute, and I really liked it. and I love a good fake dating. I love a good fake dating. I read some books in my bookness. I think it was like My Dog Made Me Read It or something like that. One of the books was The Santa Suit, and this is a very, very short read. It's so fast, but it was so cute. It's about this woman who moves into this farmhouse, like purchased unseen. She moves in. The guy that she bought the house with, like the real estate agent, he like helps her around the house, and she moves in, and the previous owners left everything, like didn't take a single thing. And so she's like cleaning out their stuff. She's like super annoyed. She's a city girl, and she comes across this Santa suit in a closet, and in the Santa suit is like this little letter, and it like really bothers her. Like this letter, like it's not that it bothers her, like annoys her. It bothers her because like she can't stop thinking about it, and she wants to know, like, did this father come home from the war to see his daughter? Like, did this happen? And I think she kind of just needs one miracle in her life, and so she goes off to figure out what happened to this little girl and what happened to her father. And every character that you meet in the story, the way they are intertwined, the way the small town moves, it's so incredible. Like, I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. This is such a cute story. The twists and turns in the book, like, I actually was pleasantly surprised. This is a Hallmark movie in a book, very short. You could read it. Sorry, my dog. You could read it in just like a very quick day or anything. You could, like, this is like a 4-hour read, if that. Like, I don't even think it's 4 hours. It might even be like 3 hours. So highly, highly, highly recommend. I also read Wreck the Halls. I thought this was so funny. This is by Tessa Bailey. This is about like two rock stars who hate each other, and their kids kind of have a thing. And the kids go on this reality show to get their parents' band back together for like one night and one night only. It was super cute. I really liked it. It's melody and beat. I hate the name beat, but I did think it was really quirky and funny, and I thought Melody was just so funny and awkward, and I really liked her. So I thought that this was a good book. I thought that the parents were super outrageous, and that made it really funny because like you've got these like thanks, guys. Thank you. Did you knock that over? Did you knock it over? Yeah. Did it scare you because you knocked it over? Yeah. Yeah, it scared you. Okay. Oh. Oh. Babe?
Yeah?
Can you call Micah?
Micah? Mikhail? Micah?
There we go. This was a funny book. I liked it. It was good. I think have I been giving stars? I don't think I gave stars to these. This one I think I gave 4 stars maybe. This one I think I gave 3.75 stars, somewhere around there. And then this one I think was another like 4-star, 3.99, like very like in that 4-star range. But it was really funny and it was really great. I really liked it. I read A Winter in New York. I think I gave this 2 stars. There's really not much to say. This had a very cute and adorable plot. However, it didn't have enough of a plot to last 350 pages. It just didn't. It was cute, but everything could have been solved in the very first chapter. And so I really wish that there was more to this story. I wish there was more happening. Also, like, I was very concerned that we were gonna have another Cassandra Clare, and I'm glad that she like straightened it out in like the first couple chapters, but it was like, for a second I was like, this is weird. This book is about Iris. She is from the UK. She moves to New York. Her mom was a singer, and she can make gelato. Like, she just knows how to make this amazing gelato. And then she meets Gio. He owns a gelato shop, and his uncle, Santo, I think is the uncle's name, he had a stroke, can't remember the gelato recipe. Lo and behold, Iris has the exact same recipe and she doesn't know why. So she kind of goes on this little quest to figure out like what happened between her mom and his uncle. So yeah, turns out it's not that surprising. But I just wish there was more to the story. I also felt like the secondary plot that she threw in at the end, it just didn't add to the story. There was no reason for it to be in the story. I also felt like Gio read like a 16-year-old boy who just went through puberty. Like, it was a whole thing. So I didn't really like it. I gave it 2 stars. It wasn't important to me. I read Check and Mate. This was another book that I really wanted to get to and really wanted to read. And I was a little disappointed. I don't want to say that I didn't like the book. I did like the book. I feel like, now that I'm thinking about the book though, I feel like it was like a 3.5, 3.75 star for me. I don't know what I actually rated it on Goodreads, but I'm thinking around that now that I'm thinking about it. So it's about Mallory and Nolan. Mallory is very good at chess for reasons, and Nolan is a grandmaster. And so Mallory, who used to play chess a lot, stopped playing chess after her dad did something really bad, and now she can't do chess anymore. And so she is like, I'm against chess. But then her friend like convinces her to do this charity tournament. She just needs a body. She's like, you don't have to win. I just need a body. You can lose in the first round, and then we'll just go and get like cookies or shakes or whatever. And Mallory's like, fine. And so she goes to do it, and then she goes up against Nolan and she beats him. And this causes a big frenzy. She gets a sponsorship to go into this chess thing where she gets paid to do chess. And she starts doing it secretly, doesn't tell her mom, doesn't tell her sisters. And she starts doing it secretly, and then she does other chess stuff. I don't know. It was just like a lot of chess. It was like a lot of chess. I loved the chess parts of this book. I thought that was so fun. I loved anytime they referenced chess, anytime they were talking about like moves and stuff like that. That was really fun for me to read about. I really liked that. This book is not YA. There's a lot of imagery that happens. I would not give this to a teenager. I just wouldn't. It's too graphic. This is a great example of a YA book with sex scenes that are appropriate for teenagers. It is just a thing that happens. There is tension in this book, but it is not so built up that it is incredibly inappropriate. This is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I read this in December. I read this later on in December, and I think I gave this 4 stars. It was a really fun book. I really liked it. This is about Charlie and Bailey. It's just so funny, and it was just so charming. Charlie is such a great guy. Like, he is just literally such a funny teenager, and Bailey as well. I want to say they're seniors because I think there's mention of like a senior dance, not prom. It's like a formal, I think, like their senior formal or something like that mentioned in this book. So I'm pretty sure they are seniors in high school. Bailey doesn't like Charlie. Charlie doesn't like Bailey. They're very annoyed with each other, and then they happen to work together. They like meet each other randomly throughout the years, and then they start working together and they form this friendship. They put a bet on Bailey's best friend's relationship, saying that she would end up kissing this guy that they also work with, because boys and girls can't be friends. And it's kind of that like When Harry Met Sally type of thing, but better. Charlie doesn't even want to call them friends. Like, he won't even call them friends. He'll just call them co-workers, because he's like, once you are in the friend area, it's too easy. You don't even notice it. All of a sudden you start liking each other, and then like all chaos ensues. And so Charlie doesn't believe in happily ever afters. Bailey does. They are both children of divorce. It's just a really fun book. I really loved the whole dynamic. I think this is such a great story for teenagers, because so many teenagers have parents in relationships where they feel like them and the parent had a great bond, and then something should happen and that bond is like skewed a little bit, whether that is a new sibling, whether that is a divorce, whether that is a remarriage, whatever that is. I feel like so many teenagers can relate to the relationship that you had with your parent changing and like evolving into something new that they are uncomfortable with, and they don't want things change, and especially when you're like about to graduate high school and you're going into college and there's too much change happening and it just overstimulates you and you're like, no, I need one thing to stay consistent. Yeah, I feel like a lot of teenagers, I definitely could relate to this. My parents are not divorced, but I could relate to not wanting to change my relationships and formulate new ones and do all these things. I just didn't want that to happen in my life when I was graduating high school, and I really struggled with that. I do love this book though. I really liked this book. It was such a cute book. I love Lynn Painter. I just love Lynn Painter books. So yeah, this one I definitely recommend, definitely recommend. I recently read Per My Last Email. This is by Juliana Smith. I think I gave this 2 stars. It just was a little corny in my opinion. This is like an office romance. They are just like, they work together in the office. The title, Per My Last Email, I thought that this was gonna be snarky because when people sign off Per My Last Email, it's usually like condescending. And so I was a little bit confused with like the title. I thought this was gonna be an office romance, but I thought it was gonna be like enemies to lovers office romance, where it was like rival co-worker type of thing. But no, they're just best friends stuck in the friend zone with each other. So, and then they go on this like retreat with their company, and something blossoms, and I don't know, it was fine. It was neither here nor there. I was okay with all of it. The characters really do love pranks, but the pranks kind of read immature and annoying. And I felt like Layla's the main girl, and then there's Luke, and they make a lot of Star Wars references where it's like Luke and Leia, Luke and Leia. And I was like, you guys know that they are siblings, right? Like, we know that they end up being siblings in the end. Like, please, can we please like remember this, because it's getting weird. I don't know. It just was strange. And then she dates a lot of guys. Like she tells how she only will go on 3 dates with guys, and then she goes and gets a new guy. And Luke doesn't really date, but then one girl shows interest in him, and Layla flips out and tells the girl that Luke is actually gay, and sabotages him getting on a date. And so that just felt weird. Like I was like, okay, like it doesn't seem fair that you can throw a childish tantrum for a girl just saying she likes him while you can like go and do whatever you want. Like that just seemed very childish to me. So all in all, I gave this 2 stars. It was fine. If you are interested in office romances, I would look into it. I do believe this is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm pretty sure this is on Kindle Unlimited. I also read A Study in Drowning. I just finished this book yesterday, maybe the day before that. I can't remember. Thursday. What's today, Friday? Yeah, so I finished it yesterday. So I finished A Study in Drowning. This is by Ava Reed. I love Ava Reed, and you'll have just seen me read this in a previous video where I actually go into detail about this book, so I would definitely check that out. But I just loved everything about this book. I loved all of it. It was so fun to read. This is about these 2 academic rivals, I want to say. There's Preston, and then there's Effie, and they go into Effie's favorite author. It has like this dilapidated house. Effie is in architecture, but she really wants to study literature, and but they won't allow women into the literary school, and so she gets accepted. She goes off to her favorite author's house to like give him plans and all that stuff, and then Preston is invited by the widow, and he goes into proving that the author is a fraud. And so she's trying to prove to him that the author is not a fraud, and he's proving to her that the author is a fraud, and it's just so cute. I really liked it. I gave this 4 stars. And then last but not least, I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This is by Carissa Broadbent. This was fantastic. I gave this 4 stars. This is everything that Fourth Wing wanted to be. I did not really like Fourth Wing. It was fine. I gave it 3 stars. Iron Flame, don't want to talk about it ever. But this was literally everything Fourth Wing was trying to be, but better, and it was just amazing. I loved it. Highly recommend this one if you are looking for something. If you are in the same boat as I was and you were like, I am not a huge fan of Fourth Wing anymore, I really didn't like Iron Flame, this is the book that you want to pick up. This is the book that you want to pick up. This is the book you want to read. This is it. It's about vampires. There's a tournament. There's a human that's in the tournament. She's our main character. She is amazing. She's so cool, and there's a lot that happens. My battery's gonna die. This was so good. This is about like vampires and tournaments and stuff like that. Our main character, she is, I cannot pronounce a single one of these names. It's like Aurea, or we're just gonna call her O, and then the guy is Rain. And he's a very powerful vampire, but he's also kind of like an outcast. And then O is a human, but she was captured by the like Nightborn King, which is like the king of all vampires. And so they're in this tournament to basically get a wish from this goddess that created the vampires, and it's best man wins. And so this was so good. I thought the ending was fantastic, and also I just really loved that there is just so much action packed into this book, and it's not that long. So there's a lot of action, there's a lot of things that are happening, there's a lot of things that are constantly going on, and you are never bored. There's never a dull moment. There's never any time where I like set the book down and didn't want to pick it up again. Like, it was just fantastic. I had a hard time putting this one down. So highly recommend this if you're looking for a better Fourth Wing. There are no dragons in it yet, but I would not put it past her. And that's it. That's all the books that I read in the month of December. I had such a fun time this month, just like reading and like learning all of these like different things. I don't know, it was just really fun. In 2024, I have so many things planned. I have so many books that I want to read, so many books that are on my shelf that I want to read. Also, my husband said he would fix my bookshelf for me, so that's exciting. So stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Please don't forget to subscribe, become one of my friends, and subscribe. And also comment. I would love to know what you got to read in December. This was crazy. I'm really shocked that I read as much as I did, but I am also very excited and hopeful, because if I can read that much and it's still a busy month, then I imagine what I can read when it's a slow month. So here's to that, cheers to that, and I will talk to you guys in a later video. I can't wait. Have a great one and goodbye.